Making shapes in CSS is really easy. We all know to make a square or a rectangle, right? But what about triangles? Well, let's find out. Let me show you the setup first. We have 4 divs with a class of arrow. It's a common class. And then additional classes for up, down, left, and right. So, in order to create triangles, first you gotta set the height and the width of that element to 0. So let's target the arrow class. I'm going to do height 0. I'm going to do width 0. And also let's do a margin bottom of 1em, just to separate them a little bit. Alright, next up, let's do with the arrow up. Now, the trick here is to use borders. And on an arrow pointing up, for example, you gotta set the left and right borders to transparent, while you set the opposing border to a solid color. So let me show you. We'll do border left, 10 pixels, solid, transparent. Same goes for border right. And then border bottom, again 10 pixels, solid. Let's make this one red. Save. And that is a nice triangle. If you want to create a triangle pointing down, well, it's pretty much the same thing. Let's copy the up, down. Border left and right will be exactly the same, but the opposite border, which is border up, border top, sorry, will be 10 pixels solid. Let's make this blue. And now it's pointing in the other direction. For left and right, it's very similar, except we won't make the left and right borders transparent. Instead, we'll make the top and bottom. So that's going to look something like this. Let's start with left. So we're going to say border top, 10 pixels solid, transparent. Border bottom, exactly the same. And then border right, 10 pixels solid. Let's make it green. And that's an arrow pointing to the left. And to the right, it's exactly the same principle. Right here and left here. And let's make this gray. Okay, perfect. Now, if you take a closer look, you'll see that these triangles don't have equal sides. Now, to make that happen, we gotta use a special formula, which looks something like this. Let's take the up border, the up triangle, sorry. So on the border bottom, we gotta set the border size to the following formula. So let's do this. Border left width plus border right width, all of this multiplied by 0.866. So if we do a quick some quick math here, we have 10 plus 10, that's 20, multiplied by 0.866, and that will give us 17.32. So we'll just put 17 pixels here. Okay, and right now we have a triangle with equal sides. Now, once you make the triangles, you can also rotate them like this using some simple transform. So let's grab this this last triangle right here. Let's make it a bit bigger, like 30 pixels. And we're going to do this WebKit transform, rotate, let's do by 90 degrees. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Save, and now it's pointing down. And of course you can add all the other vendor prefixes right here, like MS, O, MOZ, and of course the default, transform method, rotate 90 degrees. All right, so there you have it, a very simple method of creating triangles in CSS.